these complaints all deserve to be thoroughly investigated, and they will not be thoroughly investigated unless the appropriation for the Office of the Ombudsman is increased significantly greater than this particular recommendation. The Ombudsman's role is so important. It is the watchdog for public accountability in New Zealand, and if it is not adequately resourced to do that job, then there really is nowhere else to turn. The Official Information Act in New Zealand is a constitutional instrument. It is the very heart of the notion of open government, and it is the Office of the Ombudsman who can investigate the flouting of that legislation. It is no wonder, given the massive backlog of complaints regarding the Official Information Act the Office of the Ombudsman currently are dealing with, that there are ministers in the government, including the Prime Minister, who simply openly admit that they do not comply with the law. They do not comply with the Official Information Act. And one of the reasons that they're so happy to openly admit that is that they know that there is no way that they're going to be held to account for that, because the Ombudsman simply doesn't have the resources at its disposal to adequately investigate all of the complaints. By the time those complaints are investigated, months, if not years, may have gone by, and there is simply no scope for justice to be done. When the Prime Minister stands up and says, well, we release information under the OIA when it's convenient to us, that may be a year after someone's asked for it. And if the Ombudsman doesn't have the power to step in and do something about that, well, they do have the power to step in and do something about it. If they don't have the resources to step in and do something about it, then there is never going to be any accountability. And the government will never be held to account for that abuse of power, and it is an abuse of the powerful position that they hold. We have an Official Information Act and an Ombudsman to prevent the abuse of ministerial power, and if they are not being applied and they are not being resourced, then we may as well not have them, and I'm certainly not advocating that we don't have them.